The movie begins at a huge new house in California that a married couple, Simon and Robin, are considering buying. An estate agent shows them around the house, and we learn that Simon got a new job, which is why they want to move here from Chicago, where they are currently living. Time passes. Simon and Robin are in a department store shopping for things to furnish their new home. All of a sudden, a man approaches Simon, saying they went to school together. His name is Gordon, but Simon remembers him as Gordo. They are interrupted by the clerk to give an address for delivery, and Simon tells the clerk right away. With no time to chit-chat, Robin asks for Gordo's phone number and tells him they will call and should catch up another time. The next day, after Simon leaves for work, Robin is in the shower when the doorbell rings. She goes to open it to find nobody there, except for a gift-wrapped bottle of wine and a letter. When Simon returns home from work, Robin shows him the letter, which reads,
"Welcome home, smiley face Gordo."
They have no idea how he managed to get their address, but the wife is thankful for it. The next day, Robin goes to see Lucy, her next-door neighbor. Lucy lets Robin hold her daughter, and asks if she wants one herself, so Robin tells her that she was pregnant last year, but it didn't end well. Afterwards, Robin is doing work on her laptop and cooking a meal when Gordo unexpectedly shows up uninvited. Robin thanks him for the wine, and says Simon should have messaged him. He brushes it off and gives her a list of essential numbers for plumbers, maids and such, as well as a glass cleaner. The man also expresses how much he loves this style of architecture, and Robin invites him in to give him a tour. As they are looking around, Gordo notices a child's toy in one room, and asks if they have a kid, to which Robin replies they only have a dog named Mr. Bojangles at the moment. Robin also mentions that she planned to fill the pond outside their house with fish, and then she invites Gordo to stay for dinner. Later that evening, they are having dinner and drinking wine, when Gordo asks Simon if he's in touch with their high school buddies, including Greg Pearson, but Simon says he hasn't talked to anybody since they graduated. To add, Gordo remembers that Simon was class president, and Simon had a campaign called Simon Says and whatever he said happened. Gordo is probably both happy and a little bit jealous of Simon's life now that he has a beautiful wife, a gorgeous house, and a successful job. When the success Simon inquires about Gordo's life, he awkwardly replies that he joined the military after high school, but later left, and that a lot of good and bad things happened to him right after that. While cleaning up after the dinner, Simon tells Robin that he felt uncomfortable with Gordo there. Simon thinks this guy is odd, and must be delusional for thinking they were friends in high school, so Robin assures him that it was only one dinner and they don't have to do it again. The next evening, Simon and Robin are at a corporate event for Simon's job, and here we learn that the couple is still working on conceiving a child and wants to start a family. Later, when they get home, they discover yet another gift from Gordo, a letter thanking them for dinner, and some fish food. They then realize the fish food is for the koi fish he got them for their empty pond. Robin wants to thank him, but Simon says that this is not normal, and that Gordo is trespassing. The husband also mentions that everyone in school used to call him Gordo the weirdo. Robin says that Gordo is just misunderstood, and seeing how Robin reacts, Simon jokes that she now has a new friend. The next morning, after a run, Robin is about to start working on her laptop when she hears Jangles bark, and sees Gordo at the door. They talk a little, and the super nice Robin invites him in for a cup of tea. Inside the house, Gordo helps set up the TV, and Robin tells him that Simon will love him for this. Gordo then starts to pick up trash without being asked, and while in the kitchen,
I'll do it. Let's leave it. You've already done. Oh.
he spots the fridge where Simon wrote weirdo beside his phone number. Later that evening, Simon and Robin are having a little get-together with Simon's colleagues in their new house. Simon is telling everybody about the strange Gordo, and they all make fun of him, but strangely, even though Gordo got upset after seeing what Simon wrote, he still invited them for dinner at his place with another couple. Simon's colleagues joke about Gordo chopping them up into pieces if they do go. But as time passes, the couple is in their car in front of a big electric gate. They end up at Gordo's place, and as they enter, they see a huge, beautiful house, and they are shocked to find that he is living in such an extravagant place. Gordo greets them at the front door, and the couple hand him a bottle of wine. As they walk inside, they ask if the other couple is coming, and Gordo says they canceled last minute, so it's just gonna be the three of them. Curious, Simons asks if Gordo is married, to which he replies that it's a long story, but the short answer is no. Gordo then gets a phone call that seems like an emergency, saying he will only be gone for 5 minutes. After he leaves them alone in his house, Simon tells Robin that Gordo is obsessed with her, which is why he is doing all these nice things.
Gordo the weirdo, little peepee.
As they are snooping around, they see Gordo pulling into the driveway and run downstairs. They greet him as if nothing happened, and Simon asks him what he does for work to be able to afford a place like this. Gordo tells them that he was lying about an urgent work call, and that it was actually his ex-wife he was speaking to. He tells them she left with their 2 kids, and mentions that the house is actually her family home, and she is holding all the cards right now, so he has to do whatever she says. Hearing this, Robin feels bad, but Simon doesn't really seem to care about the story. He forces Robin to go wait in the car and give him and Gordo a few minutes alone. Here Simon rudely tells Gordo to stop visiting them, and to take time to sort out his current situation. The couple get into their car and drive away, but as they come to the electric gate, it's not opening. Simon gets agitated, honking the horn, and leaves the car to go back to the house. As he does this, Gordo finally takes the remote out of his pocket and opens the gate. Now back home, they get into bed, thinking it is all over. However, Robin feels something is not right. Back from her usual morning run, Robin finds the fish Gordo gifted them are now all dead. To make matters worse, their dog, Jangles, is gone. The husband quickly drives to Gordo's house and, to his surprise, he finds a couple living there who have no idea who Gordon is. Now getting the police involved, one of the officers tells Simon that Gordo used to be a driver for the man who owns that house, and had access to the garage, so that's how he got inside. Simon wants their dog back, and the police tell him they can find out where he lives, but without evidence, they can't get a warrant to search the place. The following morning, Robin is alone in the house when she hears running water. Her tap has been turned, causing her to get paranoid. She explains the situation to her neighbor, and how she's been having trouble sleeping lately, and Lucy tells her to stay for a while. While Robin is in the bathroom, she looks inside the cabinet and accidentally finds some sleeping pills, which she steals some of them. Later that night, Simon is fast asleep, but Robin is having trouble sleeping, so she goes into another room and takes some sleeping medication she has stashed away. As she is going back to the bedroom, she notices a light on in the hallway. She slowly goes to check it out, and then this happens. Her dog, Jangles, surprises her at the window. Seeing their dog's sudden reappearance, Simon is convinced this is Gordo's doing, yet Robin is still not 100% convinced. The next morning, Robin collects the mail, and notices a letter from Gordo. In the letter, he expresses his apology for lying, saying that he would feel ashamed to show them where he really lives. He says that he will leave them alone as they asked, and he also mentions forgiving Simon. As if that wasn't pathetically sweet enough, he also says specifically to Simon that he was willing to let bygones be bygones, and only had good intentions for them. When Robin asks Simon what it means to let bygones be bygones, Simon replies that he is just an unstable man and has no idea what he is talking about. The next day, while Robin is taking a shower, she spots someone walking into the bathroom. Robin wakes up in terror as it is revealed that she just had a nightmare. In the meantime, Simon is meeting with his bosses to discuss a possible promotion. He is told that his only competition is his co-worker, Danny McDonald. Back home, Robin is cutting vegetables when she hears a door closing. Startled, she spills her Gatorade, and goes to have a look. While walking to the source of the sound, she suddenly has a panic attack and collapses. It's now the next morning, and Robin wakes up in her bed. Going to the kitchen, she sees Simon sitting there, and he tells her that when he got home last night, he found her passed out. The wife then tells Simon that she is scared, and wants Simon to call Gordo and just say sorry to him to make things right. However, Simon is not listening, blaming everything on the pills she took without him knowing. When she asks him again what let bygones be bygones means, Simon gets flustered, and responds that he just wants her to move on with her life and stop thinking about Gordo the weirdo. Time is passing by. Robin and Simon have now moved on from their past with Gordo, and are starting to live a normal, happy family life. Until one day, Robin hands Simon a gift, a positive pregnancy test. More time passes, and Robin, now visibly pregnant, is in a store with Lucy when they spot Gordo staring at them through the window. Robin walks out to him, and the creepy guy quickly leaves. Afterwards, Robin is now in her house with family and friends, receiving gifts for her soon-to-be-born child. She walks with Simon's sister and asks her if she knows Gordo. To her surprise, the sister tells her that Gordo was molested by an older kid in school, was bullied, and then moved to a different school. She tells her to ask Simon more about it, as Simon and his friend Greg Pearson reported the incident, after which Gordo was bullied by all the students for allegedly being gay. As usual, Simon leaves for work the next day, and Robin opens his file cabinet. She discovers that Simon has run background checks on Danny McDonald, and Gordo, who has spent his life in and out of prison and has several charges against him, including breaking and entering, and abduction of a minor. She then discovers the guy who was with Simon, Greg Pearson, through some online digging, and goes to talk to him at his workplace. It is at this point that she finds out that Simon made up the whole molestation story, because he was a bully. It ruined Gordo's life, and Simon had a chance to make everything right by telling the truth, but he never did. As a result of the false report, Gordo's father thought Gordo was gay, and tried to burn him alive, leading to his arrest for attempted murder, and Gordo being sent to military school. Back in the house, Simon is talking to his colleague about the new potential promotion, and finds out that the other candidate is being investigated. Robin then confronts Simon about what Greg had just told her, but Simon denies it. He plays it off like it was only a little incident, tells her he is not apologizing for something that happened 20 years ago, and that Gordo needs to man up and let it go. The husband also rants about Robin getting bullied in school when she slaps him, and tells him he was a bully in school, and is still a bully now. In the end, Robin tells him he needs to apologize to Gordo to make this right, if not for the sake of Gordo, then for her. Later on, Simon finds Gordo at a bar quiz where he works. After Gordo is finished, Simon confronts him in the parking lot and apologizes, but Gordo learns that his apology is not sincere, as Simon says Robin wanted him to do it. Gordo does not accept his apology and tells him it's too late for that now. Here Simon's true colors show when he gets aggressive, trying to make Gordo accept his apology by kicking him to the ground, and calling him a loser. He also threatens him to leave his family alone, or else he will make his life hell. When Simon comes home, he lies to his wife about Gordo being really appreciative of the apology. He hugs her and tells her that now it's finally over. A few days pass, and Simon has his colleagues over to celebrate his new promotion. While giving a speech, they hear a loud bang, which startles them all. Looking out the window to see what it was, a rock flies through the window and shatters it. Simon then goes outside to check, right when a man runs out of the shadows and pushes him. Simon manages to catch him and take him to the ground. It wasn't Gordo after all, it was Danny McDonald, the other candidate for the promotion. Danny accuses Simon of cheating him out of the job promotion, by sending a misleading email to his bosses, saying that he knew that people at Danny's previous company had found him inadequate. Suddenly, Robin's water breaks, and she is rushed to hospital, where she gives birth to a baby boy. While in the hospital, Simon's colleague calls him, and tells him he needs to clear out his office, as the boss found out that Simon fabricated evidence against Danny. Simon then tells his wife he is going home to check on the window being fixed, and on Jangles. However, things get even worse for him when Robin expresses to him that she does not want to go back to the house with him, essentially telling him she wants to break up. After all the crazy stuff that hits Simon out of nowhere, he comes home, only to find a big gift box waiting for him on the porch. A gift is written in a letter, and there is also a smiley face. Meanwhile in the hospital, Gordo, with a sling on his arm, walks into Robin's room while she sleeps. Simon opens the gift and finds a baby carrier with 3 smaller gifts inside, labeled 1, 2, 3. He opens number 1, and discovers a key to his own house. Number 2 contains a CD, and Simon puts it into a CD player. He then hears an audio of him making fun of Gordo the night he'd invited him and Robin to dinner, calling him a weirdo who was obsessed with his wife. Back in the hospital, Robin wakes up and is shocked to see Gordo standing there. He gives his congratulations and asks if it is a boy or a girl. Meanwhile, Simon opens up gift number 3. Inside is a DVD that reads "Watch Me" with a smiley face. When he plays it, he discovers that Gordo frequently recorded his wife while she was at home. He also sees the moment when she passed out, which turns out to be because Gordo spiked her Gatorade. Gordo stands over Robin after she had fainted, seemingly about to sexually assault her. Wearing a monkey mask, he carries her over to the bed and touches her while waving to the camera, mocking Simon before the camera cuts. Back to Gordo, With a bandaged eye and his arm in a sling, he tells Robin that Simon lost all control and caused his injuries. After witnessing all this, Simon speeds to the hospital, trying to call Robin, but there is no answer. Arriving at the hospital, he finds that Robin is not in the room she was in before. He then spots Gordo getting into an elevator, but is unable to catch him, so he follows him by taking the stairs. As he frantically searches for him everywhere and heads outside, his phone suddenly rings. It turns out to be Gordo, who calls Simon to taunt him, refusing to confirm whether or not he raped Robin and fathered the baby, just as Simon refused to come clean about the molestation story years before. He tells Simon to go and check the baby's eyes, because the eyes never lie. Panicked, Simon runs back into the hospital, and sees Robin and the baby. He's totally fixated on the baby's eyes, but he just can't figure them out, while the nurse closes the curtain. With his marriage over and his career destroyed, he drops to the ground, crying, while Gordo looks at him. Satisfied with his revenge, Gordo, the fucking weirdo, walks away, tossing away the fake sling from his arm.